It's the 24th of March, and I am shoveling snowy ice or icy snow from my driveway. What the fuck? Hey BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March, and this is my bookish week for Sunday, March 24th. Only because I just said it in my intro, do I know what the date is today. So, as I said, I can't flip and believe this. Snow and ice today, it was just on the line of having to bring out the snowblower, and my husband has hurt his back pretty badly, and I can operate the snowblower, but it's pretty difficult for me to haul it out of the shed. So I said, I know, Clara and I will shovel. I don't have a very long driveway. It's pretty easy to shovel it. So that's what I did. And it was fine. The snow was light, but as I'm filming this, it's raining. So now it's going to be snow with ice on top, and it's going to get heavy, and hopefully the plow doesn't plow us in. These are the troubles you have when you live in New England, people. So, how was my bookish week last week? I finished one book, and I have 3 on the go. So hopefully, my goal is to not carry any over, but I think I will be carrying over at least one mammoth. So let me show you what I did. I finished Milkman by Anna Burns. I did a reread of this and listened to it on audio. I have gushed about this book ad nauseum in the past. This was a book I read very shortly after I started BookTube. And so the last time I read this was probably 4 years ago. It's one of my favorite books of all time. And this won the Booker Prize in 2008. This book is the story of a teenage, unnamed main character. Actually, I think she is named later. I think she names herself later in the book, and I forget what it is. But the characters in this book are unnamed. This is written in somewhat of a stream of consciousness style, and it can be off-putting, but what I love about it is these are the thoughts of a 18-year-old girl. She is living in Northern Ireland in the 70s during the Troubles, and in order for her to cope, and in order for her to escape her daily reality, she walks through the town reading. She walks and reads at the same time. Girl after my own heart. She is then stalked by an older, middle-aged Irish paramilitary man known as Milkman. So that's partially why the book is titled Milkman. So she's trying to just exist, just live her life. She has a maybe boyfriend. She has her wee sisters. She has first sister, second sister, first brother-in-law, third brother-in-law, and so on and so on. But on audio, this book was absolutely fantastic. I will put the narrator's name down here because I never remember to check in advance. She was phenomenal. I highly recommend listening to this book on audio. If, like me, you don't like listening to novels on audio, if you've read the book, listen to the audio. Just do it. It's so good. And my rating did not change. If anything, the audio bumped it up even more than 5 stars. So I love Milkman by Anna Burns. That's the book I finished. I should insert the sound of crickets here, but I won't. So I have 4 books currently going. Now my teenage daughter, Clara, on Friday nights goes to a teen group, and it's in a town that's close to me, but not close enough to drop her off and then come home. So what I basically do is I drop her off, I take myself out to dinner, and I sit in a restaurant very close by to where her group is, and I eat, and I typically will read or play on my phone, and then I'll take my time and go pick her up. And this restaurant is small and quiet and cozy. They're not very busy, but they've been around for decades, and the food is fantastic. I'm filming this on Saturday, so last night I actually had a baked haddock dinner, which was phenomenal. The week before, I had boiled dinner, and if you're not Irish and you don't know what that is, boiled dinner is corned beef, potatoes, cabbage, turnips, and carrots boiled. And it's doesn't have a lot of spice to it, but the best boiled dinner I ever had actually was spiced, and it was delicious. But this one was also pretty delicious because the corned beef was cooked perfectly, and you eat it, I eat it with salt and pepper and mustard on the side. So I'm telling you about food, but that was my Friday night dinner last week. Yesterday's dinner was baked haddock, which was also just incredible. So I might just eat my way through the menu at that restaurant. Why not? But when I got there, I realized I had taken my book out of my big giant purse, which I use to fit a book, and I left it on my kitchen table. So I went to the store around the corner and I bought myself a mass market paperback to read at dinner. And I picked up The Wife Upstairs by Rachel Hawkins. And I started reading it at the table, and I'm hooked. I am on page 60, and I'm waiting to finish filming this video to get back to this little mass market paperback. It's a thriller mystery, and I'm here for it. It's a retelling of Jane Eyre. I am still reading Still Life by A.S. Byatt. This is the second in the Frederica Potter series of books by A.S. Byatt. This was a buddy read with Judy Brown, but Judy's long past finished the book. I am still plodding my way through it. I'm not even halfway through yet. I'm close to halfway. But Judy has been so patient, and she's like, just tell me what you think anytime you want, because she's already done. She's already rated it. But for the last 3 weeks, I've been working a new job, and it's kicking my butt. It's all good, but a brand new job at my age, oh man, it's just... I'm not 25 anymore. This is so tiring. So I'm still reading Still Life. A.S. Byatt can be a very fussy writer. She can be kind of prissy and wordy and long-winded, but then again, her character development is just expert, and her sentences can be beautiful. So I am enjoying that book. I just do want to give it more time. Let's see, I've got two mammoths that I've got going on. This one I have barely scratched the surface of, but already after the first chapter, I'm like, I want to finish all of my other books and then sit down with this one and literally devote all the time I have. This is Ash, A Secret History by Mary Gentle. High fantasy, somewhat high fantasy / historical fiction, and yep, I'm all here for it. I can't wait to get back into it. This is a bind-up, I believe. I think it's a bind-up of 2 or 3 of the books, maybe. I don't remember how many. This is the story of a beautiful mercenary leader, Ash, a young girl, high fantasy written by a woman. Also, all here for this one. And the last mammoth in my month is Middlemarch by George Eliot, my 3rd reread of this book. This one, I am close to the end. I have, I think, 200 pages, but I've been alternating between text and audio. The audio by Juliet Stevenson is, I am wordless. I have no words to tell you how exceptional this audiobook is. But I will be finishing this hopefully early this week, and I'm reading this with Classics and Company. That is facilitated by Ann Novella and Micah Cummins, and we've got quite the fun little group that is reading Middlemarch together. All right, now those are all the books I finished and am currently reading. I have something I wanted to ask you all. I went to a library book sale in the town that I'm now working in, so I got to go on my lunch hour, which was awesome because there was only 3 of us in the room, so I loved it. I've gone to this book sale before, and if I go on the weekend, it is mobbed. For whatever reason, they tend to have it in the smallest room in the library. I don't know why. And so they have tables set up, but underneath the tables, they have all the cardboard boxes with all the books in there. So you literally, and they pile them too high. So you have to like wade through boxes of books under the tables. I don't want to bend down to look through boxes of books, but when there's only 3 or 4 of us in the room, it made it a lot easier. So I did buy myself a nice little pile of books. I'm not going to show you all of them. They were like $1 or $2. But here's what I did. 3 books I've already read before. And I purchased them because they were $1, because I want to reread them. One of them I DNF'd. The other 2 I read, they are a series, and I read the first 3, and I found practically brand new paperbacks of the first 2 in the series, and I will show you those. This is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson, who has since passed away after the first 3 books in the series. But I read this a while ago, and I loved it at the time. Lisbeth Salander, and this was at the library sale for $1. It's almost brand new, and I've been wanting to read this again. And every time I go to a bargain store or a thrift shop, I will look for these, and honestly, quite often I find them, but they're in really rough shape. So at the library sale for $1, I got that one. It's almost brand new. And this is even newer than that one. The Girl Who Played with Fire. This is the 2nd book in the series. This one looks like nobody ever opened it. Brand new. And there's one other book, The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest. I have since gotten that book for free from Thrift Books, so that is on its way along with one other book. So I saved up all my points and got the 3rd book in this series for free. Now, here's the book that I already tried and DNF'd at one point. Why, you ask, did I buy it again? Because I really want to read it. I want to try to read it again. I should love this book because it's exactly what I love. It's stream of consciousness, it's original, it's somewhat mundane everyday life, and it is Duck's Noob Report by Lucy Ellmann. I had this exact copy, this gigantic mammoth paperback copy, and unhauled it a while ago. How many pages? This is 988 pages, something like that. And if I find it at the library sale for $1 and I'm thinking to myself, why don't you try that again? I think you're gonna like it. So I bought it. That's what I want to ask you. Do you ever do that? Do you rebuy books that you've already read or you may have gotten rid of? Or do you try? I've done this several times. I have DNF'd a book and DNF'd it again on a second attempt to read it. And then I will do it a 3rd time. I will attempt to read it and finish it on the 3rd time. I've done that a few times. I actually did that with Wolf Hall by Hilary Mantel, and I did it with Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. And I finished Wolf Hall. I didn't love it, but Outlander, on the 3rd attempt, I finished it and loved it, and read it again and loved it, and read through the first 5 books in the series. That's a very long series. But have you ever done that? Have you ever repurchased books, especially if you find them for $1 at a library sale? I've done that with books I found for 50 cents at a library sale. And we all do this. If I read a book electronically, if I listen to a book and I love it, if I find it at a library sale for $1, I almost always will buy it because I want to collect it on my shelf. That I do a lot. But I don't typically rebuy books that I've already gotten rid of, probably years ago, in order to read them again. Have you done that? Do you do that? Is that a thing? If it's not, then how embarrassing is this? But let me know in the comments below if you've ever done it. If you, like me, are willing to be transparent enough to admit to it, let me know in the comments below. And write me a comment about anything in the video, any of the books I showed you, if you've read Milkman, how you feel about that one. And whatever you want to tell me about, write me a comment. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, everybody.